"Sir," I said, "move to the middle seat. Now." The flight attendant's voice pierced through the hum of the cabin like a blade. Every conversation within 4 rows came to a halt. It was 3:42 p.m., April 17th, 2024, aboard Delta Flight 2981 from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. The plane was fully booked, the air tense even before the engine started. A quiet elderly man, maybe in his 70s, stood frozen by row 14. He wore a faded Air Force cap and held out his boarding pass with a polite, confused smile. "I believe this is my seat." "14A," he said, voice trembling slightly. The flight attendant barely glanced at it. "You've been reassigned to the middle. Seat 14B, please cooperate." A few passengers exchanged glances. The woman in the window seat didn't look up. The man in the aisle pulled his elbows in as the old man slowly settled into the middle, his posture folding inward like someone trying not to be seen. His hands trembled in his lap. His eyes stayed low. For the next 9 minutes, the cabin remained unnervingly quiet. The engines weren't starting. The plane hadn't moved. A mechanical issue? A delay? And then the intercom clicked on. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I'm holding departure for just a moment. There's something you need to hear." Chatter stopped. Heads turned. Even the flight attendants froze. The gentleman in row 14, Mr. Howard, was just asked to change seats due to a logistical miscommunication. What the crew didn't realize is who he is. A current of curiosity buzzed through the rows. Some people sat up straighter. Some started filming. Mr. Howard is a retired Master Sergeant of the United States Air Force. He served our country for 32 years. 3 combat deployments, 2 distinguished flying crosses, and today, April 17th, 2024. He's on this flight for a final mission. He's on his way to Arlington National Cemetery to bury his twin brother, a fellow airman, killed in action. The cabin fell absolutely silent, no breathing, no movement. "Mr. Howard had specifically requested seat 14A," the captain continued, "because that's where his brother always sat when they flew together. It wasn't a preference, it was a tribute." The attendant who had ordered him to move slowly backed away, her posture shifting from authority to shame. The woman at the window looked stunned. The man in the aisle stood up instinctively. And then, the cockpit door opened. The captain emerged, tall and composed in full dress uniform. He walked slowly, deliberately, down the aisle. Passengers made room for him without being asked. The tension had turned into reverence. When he reached row 14, he didn't say a word. He faced the old man directly, and then he saluted. It wasn't casual. It was the kind of salute taught at boot camp. Sharp, perfect, timed, the kind given to legends. Mr. Howard looked up, visibly shocked. His hands shook as he tried to return it, but the captain gently lowered them and offered a handshake instead. "You don't need to salute anymore, sir," he said with emotion in his voice. "You've already done more than your share." He turned to the passengers. "Let this flight be a reminder. Every seat has a story, and some deserve our silence, our honor, and our gratitude." The entire plane rose to its feet in applause. People clapped. A few wept. One man shouted, "God bless you, Sergeant," and others echoed it. Someone from the back started a slow salute. A woman near the front whispered, "Thank you," through tears. Mr. Howard was offered back his original seat. He quietly took it, placing his brother's worn cap on the window ledge. He stared out silently, perhaps seeing more than just clouds. And only then, at 3:54 p.m., did the engines finally fire up. That flight didn't just carry passengers, it carried legacy. It carried grief and pride and sacrifice that most of us will never fully understand. Mr. Howard never raised his voice, never demanded respect. But sometimes the ones who say the least carry the most. Sometimes the middle seat holds a giant. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.